Meteor's lurking on. Oh my god, primmie. Oh my god, primmie. Oh my god, primmie.
Nah, these kids are getting too good these days.
Primmie might just be the best Valorant player. He's been Radiant 23 acts in a row and he's achieved rank 1 7 acts in a row. But what's his secret? How is his mechanics so good and what makes him a better duelist than other pros? I've ruthlessly watched his games and I have now found out why he's so good. I've broken down what makes Primmie so good into 6 parts. Part 1. What makes his mechanics so good? Without mechanics, you won't go anywhere in Valorant, let alone become one of the best players. So I've broken down what makes his mechanics so crazy, with each component becoming increasingly more important. Number 1. Primmie has insane raw aim, which is weird because from what I found, Primmie doesn't actually aim train. He's also on a very high sensitivity, which makes it even more unbelievable. His flicks are incredible, they are precise, and because of his high sense, he might just have the fastest flicks in pro play. His fast flicks often means a low time to kill, but this is just one small part of what makes Primmie's mechanics so good. I'll later on explain how you can get raw aim like Primmie. Number 2. He rarely misses his first bullet. Primmie never rushes his first bullet. The first bullet you shoot in a fight is the most important one, and Primmie just doesn't waste his first bullet. Valorant's all about time to kill. The player who kills the other one in the least amount of time wins. And how do you kill the other player as fast as possible? By not missing your first bullet. Primmie understands this, and you can see how he doesn't ever shoot before he's on target. Number 3. There are multiple ways to shoot in Valorant, but Primmie has a specific style. He rarely sprays. In almost all his gunfights, he does 2 to 3 bullet bursts or taps. There's a specific reason why he does this that is very important, and it's the biggest reason why his mechanics are so good. But to understand this, we need the 4th piece. Number 4. Movement is easily Primmie's biggest weapon, and it's the reason behind his shooting style. Primmie loves being agile. He is almost always moving during a fight, making him incredibly hard to hit. Combine that with his insane aim and you have the reason behind his insane mechanics. It's because of this agility he decides to only shoot in bursts and taps. It allows him to constantly move and become a hard target to hit. If you have a more spray-oriented style, then you bet everything on you hitting your shots. If you miss, you're dead since you're standing still. But Primmie isn't a player that just blindly pushes people. Primmie understands movement so well that he knows exactly when not to move as well. You've maybe seen this clip.
Tyson scrimmed against Primmie, and Tyson goes, he is mechanically the best player that I've ever played against. He is insane. He is the best angle holder ever.
Primmie is kind of famous for being good at holding angles, but why? Isn't holding an angle kind of the opposite of having a movement-focused playstyle like Primmie's? Not really. Let's say in theory there's 2 players fighting each other. The first person able to shoot their first bullet then wins if they're equally skilled. If you're then pushing someone and they peek you while you're moving, they are going to stop before you and have the chance to shoot their first bullet first. This is especially true if you're pushing someone with your W key by moving forward, because then you're not even a hard target to hit. Primmie knows this and uses it to his advantage. If an enemy is nearby, instead of pushing, which is disadvantageous, Primmie decides to hold the angle. Therefore, he's never caught off guard. But here's the crazy part. Mechanics is only one part of why Primmie is so good. Part 2. How he's able to carry in rank. All players have different playstyles. Some favor team play and others are more suited to ranked play. Primmie's high impact playstyle allows him to carry every game when playing ranked. Primmie has a very aggressive playstyle. On defense, he likes to be proactive. He's almost always in the driver's seat. He doesn't hide on site waiting for something to happen. Primmie is the one making things happen. He either takes an aggressive angle and holds it, pushes, or makes a play with one of his teammates. Primmie oftentimes gets early information and then rotates early. Early rotating can be risky, but it's also very rewarding if done right. Attackers have a 60 to 70% win rate after spike has been planted. Primmie tries to avoid after plants and is therefore always where the action is. The only real advantage the attackers have on the defenders is unpredictability and the element of surprise. If you knew exactly where the attackers were going every round, you'd win almost all your defense rounds. So there's a really strong correlation between how much information you have on defense and how likely you are to win that round. Primmie of course understands this and is always active trying to make a play or gather information, making him a big threat on defense. When you add up his crazy mechanics, high impact playstyle, and part 3, you'll really understand why people can't win against him. Part 3. Why he's so hard to play against. Valorant is a very dynamic game. No game is the same. Every player is different in every game, and so is the map, agents, team play, and playstyles. Because of this, in order to become one of the best players in the world, an extremely necessary skill to learn is adaptability and unpredictability. These two skills are the keys to primmie's consistency, allowing him to reach rank 1 7 times. If you watch primmie playing on defense, you're going to see him do something new almost every round. He doesn't stick to one play that becomes predictable. Therefore, his enemies have to work really hard to try and guess what he's going to do. Combine this with his high impact, risk-taking playstyle and it becomes a big problem. When he's on attack, he adapts to his enemies. If the enemy team has a Cypher, he changes his playstyle and works with his team to take the side. If he's not going against any sentinels, he abuses this fact and hits hard and fast. primmie sees the different gaps and opportunities in the enemy team and abuses them to win rounds. This is what all the greats in sports have done. They find weaknesses and exploit them. Mike Tyson, for example, was by standard known as a short heavyweight boxer, but he used this to his advantage. He adopted a style that allowed him to turn his height into a weapon against taller opponents, getting up close and exploiting the taller opponent's height. Mike Tyson adapted to his opponents and saw great success. If you can't adapt, you can't reach the higher ranks. But what about primmie's agents? He loves playing duelists, so what sets him apart from other duelists? Part 4. Why primmie is such a good duelist. So, what's his secret? primmie really understands his role as a duelist and his agent's strengths. If he's playing Neon, he understands the strength and speed of Neon's kit and he uses that to his advantage. On attack, he pushes fast and makes sure the enemies don't have time to rotate and help. On defense, he rotates fast to be where the action is. But primmie is also not afraid to take risks and die if needed. primmie takes a lot of space for his team on attack. He's confident in his mechanics and uses that to take duels, but he doesn't let his unbelievable mechanics blind him. If he feels like taking a side is hard, he calls the rotate. As simple as it might seem, the secret to why he's such a good duelist is his understanding of his job. He knows what he has to do as a duelist and he does it. The difference being his execution is just flawless. We all know that one of the hardest parts of playing ranked is keeping a good mentality. So what's primmie's mentality like? I think he has a quite different approach than most Valorant players.
You had the booger keyboard?
Why is my
the booger mouse?
Break my computer, bro.
TP.
Stop freezing. How about you shut your fucking mouth and get fucking kills next time?
Sorry, sir.
Man. Oh my god.
Part 5. How primmie's mentality makes him a better player. Valorant can be extremely tilting. Sometimes it can feel like gambling. You get horrible teammates, you miss an important shot, your teammates are toxic, and it feels like the enemies are playing their life's best game. We all know that tilting and being toxic doesn't help. But here's primmie's approach. Instead of tilting and flaming his teammates, primmie actually seems to often laugh with his duo when things go wrong. He understands that the game can be very absurd at times and instead of being angry, he laughs. Due to this, I think he's actually able to play better because his approach makes the game more enjoyable. And we all know that we play our best when we have fun. Trust me, there's a lot of fun to be had when you take your games and teammates less seriously. And as a result, you'll play better as well. Understanding how primmie is so good at the game is cool, but doesn't do us very much unless we know how to take this information into our own games. And step by step, how to practice these skills. Part 6. How you can start winning more too. First off, you're going to want to train your mechanics, specifically your movement, but also your shooting style when moving. The key skill here that you need to learn is aiming and moving at the same time. To practice aiming and moving at the same time, you want to play medium or easy bots in the practice range, then start moving before the bots spawn. Once a target spawns, you want to flick to the target and you only stop once your crosshair is on the target and you're ready to stop and shoot. Think of it like this: move, aim, stop and shoot. If you want as good first bullet accuracy as primmie, you can make this practice harder. Instead of bursting, you only get 1 bullet per target. This will train your first bullet accuracy. To make this even harder, you practice this in deathmatches. This practice alone will skyrocket your mechanics, but it does take time to become better at it. You don't want to mindlessly get in reps. You need to be mentally active and look for the mistakes you're doing. Are you over flicking when moving? Are you stopping too early? You want to error correct and iterate. Don't look for repetition, which means doing an action the same way. Look for iteration, correcting errors and improving your technique. Okay, so now you know how to work on the mechanics. Let's improve your in-game playstyle and game sense. On defense, you want to be proactive and unpredictable. When you get into a game, try to make new plays every round. Don't do the same thing over and over. Try to make aggressive plays if possible. If you push on A on defense and see no one, rotate fast and make sure you're where the action is so you can stop the spike from being planted. On attack, be adaptable. Look at your team and the enemy team. What strengths does your team and the enemy team have? What weaknesses is there to exploit an enemy team? All that's left is just to do your job, understand your agent and role. If you're Neon, you need to be going in first and oftentimes fast. If you're a Cypher, you want to lurk and get picks. Simply do what your agent and role is supposed to do. And when you're in game, enjoy the process. Don't tilt, it'll make you play worse and it'll make the game less fun. There's a lot of takeaways in this video and I suggest you learn at your own pace. Don't try to learn everything at the same time. Take one skill at a time and build from there. You can't shortcut your way to success. Without practice, you will not have learned anything from this video.